Hello and welcome to another audio commentary done by Luminous, and today I'm joined by a very special guest commentator. His name is Inep Adep. Do you want to talk about yourself for a bit before we get into the picks and bans?
Well, I'm not that interesting, Luminous, but I am Asian, which is what I've been told very difficult to hear from my voice, which is why people have been asking me to do a commentary. Other than that, I'm just another Dota fan. I like watching games. I like playing games.
Alright man, this is the widest Asian we have ever heard, or I have ever heard at least. And alright, let's get into the picks. This is U9 Tournament Winner Bracket Finals Game 2. And we have Nirvana China and LGD 2009. So there are picks and bans already done. I believe Scourge got the first picks. Would you like to pick a team to talk about, or would you like to talk about specific heroes? Anything is fine.
I'm really excited about some of the picks of the sorry, Scourge team, so I think I'll talk about them. And
Sure.
since they picked first, I guess I'll start talking now. Uh, The most obvious interesting picks on this team are the Drow and the Silencer together. These aren't these are carries that have been seen, I guess, throughout competitive Dota, but haven't been used that often. And to see them both together on the same team is very exciting. Um, we've also got the Vengeful Spirit powerhouse and Rexar, who's a really strong ganker. We have basically 4 heroes on this team who could solo mid or solo top. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Like, I have no idea what lanes they're gonna be doing.
Yeah,
Um,
no, they have really a lot of lanes versatility, so it's gonna be really weird to see, which gets the solo lane, which gets the dual lane. So
um,
any mention about a lot of, I mean, they do have two silences, like one's global and one is
Besides
the
that,
6 second AoE.
yeah, the silences. I feel like if it gets to be late game, they want to have those silences to stop Naga, and I don't want to get into the greatness of Naga, but basically, if we get to late game and he gets his ult off, and they're beside your towers, they're gonna basically take a Rax, and there is nothing you can do. There is no counter to that. So they're it looks like they're pretty worried about that.
And I don't think they have a lot of AoE to deal with Naga's illusions either, so that might be a bit of trouble. So any last words about your Scourge team before we before I head to the Sentinel? Or
I do like the fact that we've got a number of carries and a lot of ranged damage to go along with Drow's great aura there. Um,
yeah, they do have great synergies, I think.
and stacks on top of all of that goes on top of Venge's roar or whatever it is,
Command or and Terror.
and the
Yeah.
terror. So we've got some auras, we've got some terrors, we've got a lot of damage being pumped out, and just a lot of ugh, pain.
Alright, so they are a very DPS team. Not usually the best carry heroes, but really they could pump out a lot of damage. But moving on to the Sentinel heroes, I mean, all of these heroes you have seen before, but Naga Siren's the one that I believe is my first ever cast of a lot Naga Sirens. So Naga Siren, one of the best pub stomping hero. The reason you don't see it ever in pro games is that she is very farm dependent. Her images do not survive quite long in a competitive game, because competitive is about burst nukes and burst AoE stuff that really kills the Naga. Now Naga late games one of the best hero ever, because like Inep said, once she uses her ultimate, once her image pops out, you will get thrown. No, not thrown. You will lose a Rex if you don't have a glyph on. So these teams, they could push very well as well. Like the Darkseer and the Nevermore, they could lay down creeps really quickly, but they're not lacking the ganking power as well. Nevermore, the Ruby Assassin, and Darkseer could pull out the gank basically like in a wide portion of the map. Of course. Crystal Maiden providing a nice aura there, nothing special. But I'm just gonna keep my eyes on this Naga Siren. She will need a lot of farm, because I'm looking forward to get a Vanguard first, because that's what pro players nowadays moving towards. Vanguards maybe into a Manta style later on, but um, she could really go a lot anywhere with her item build, but she will need a lot of gold to do it. And laning wise, I'm feeling there might be a tri-lane. Again, you really need to protect that Naga. If she goes into like a 0-3 starts, you basically has a 4v5 hero because she's got nothing that could really help out in the early game. Like if you have a line, yeah, there's 2 nukes and a two disables right there. With Naga Siren, all she has is a net and maybe a sleep at times, and that's it. She's not gonna give you that much benefit early game. I'm looking forward to Nirvana trying to turtle up late and then win it there. So it's gonna be a very exciting game. Go ahead.
Actually, one thing I did notice, now that you mention it, is the order of the picks. Pink went first, and that means they had Venge, Beastmaster, Drow, and Necrolyte. And exactly as you said, I'm thinking Nirvana saw that they didn't have a very AoE heavy lineup and went for picking that Naga Siren as their power carry, and they didn't counter with any AoE because I guess they didn't see any. A lot of it was banned, the Earthshaker and the Tide, that could have helped them against the Naga. So they opted for the Silence as a potential counter for her.
Yeah, I think Silencer. I mean, in lane he's a beast already, but he has some late game potential, especially with the Command Aura and then True Shot Aura. Every aura there. So I mean, also it might not be a surprise if Scourge pick up of Vlad's as well. So that's another damage aura right there. So it's gonna be like big aura versus late game Naga. It's gonna be a really interesting game.
Yeah, probably, hopefully, Silence and then Silence to keep her from ulting or splitting, and then just DPS her down.
Yeah, it's gonna need some great coordination. I think that's it, right? Any final words before we actually get this replay?
No, I'm just really excited to see these interesting, and this is a captain's mode game, so they picked these guys on purpose.
Right, it's not a CD or anything like that, so
we'll see where this goes.
Okay. For Nep and then the guys that are watching lives in the live commentary room, there's like 2 or 3. I'm at the 7:31 mark. I will count down and hopefully you can unpause without too much sync issues. So I'm unpausing in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. So I am at the 7:34, 7:36, 7:37, 8, 9, 10.
Right along with you
at this point. All right, great job. And I just realized I did not record the freaking first 10 minutes of the video. I guess no big deal because there's not much to see on the screen anyways. Looks like everyone is moving into lane and there are 2 melee heroes going bottom lane, so that means it's gonna be a try, and looks like Crystal Maiden is accompanying her. And so looking at the Scourge lane and how everyone's moving in place, how do you feel?
In terms of Scourge laning, they've got I guess it looks like a power range going top and Silencer switching to mid, I guess maybe along with Beastmaster, a dual lane, or going bottom, a double lane with Necrolyte. So they've got 3 power ranged possible mid solos, but they want to give that mid to Beastmaster because he's got the map hawk. They're also gonna give Venge to Drow as a potential babysit / gank. Hopefully she roams because I never really like her as a babysitter. She's got such short range.
Yeah, no, her range is what, 400. It's not gonna help out that much in harassment, but she is a beast in roaming. So
I can't tell if the silencer. I guess the silencer's going mid. Hopefully he goes curse harass because he'll be up against, it looks like, Shadow Fiend. Oh, he is going bottom. No. So Curse Harass is really good against 3 heroes because it's got a huge AoE and.
Ooh, if he catch all 3 under a Curse of Silence, that's gonna be beastly. So, at the very least, that'll make them waste a lot of mana just to get rid of the curse. So.
Yeah, and Naga's got only the net. Once the Sentinel team initiates, Silence goes off, and they're going to be taking damage because it's early levels. And oh, there goes one right there, catching the oh, and they can't do anything about it because they're just so it's got huge range and it's so far away. Costs him almost nothing.
I think it costs a bit, like 100 something, but really, you're burning more than they're taking. So. It's only level 1, but it still does quite a bit. If you want the top lane, you have the Venge solo, or not Venge solo. You have the Venge babysitting the Drow Ranger. And this Darkseer is having no chance. I mean, he can't even get near the creeps. I'm looking forward to Vengeful Spirit actually moving out the lane, seeing that Drow Ranger is going to be A-okay there. Probably going to go support mid, because, Beastmaster versus Nevermore is not going to be a pretty lane for the Beastmaster there.
Yeah, I mentioned I don't like Venge as a babysitting hero, but I guess she can babysit with the 400 range if she's against a melee guy.